What's up, guys? This is Dan Sugarman from As Blood Runs Black. You're watching Quickie Tuesday on Djents TV. I've been wanting to do a solo project for a really long time. I feel like it's kind of been a dream of mine since I started playing music, in all honesty. I mean, the reason I got into metal in the first place was to challenge myself. I started out as just, like any other musician. I started playing really anything I could get my hands on. And when I discovered metal, I discovered it was like this whole league of people who just challenge the shit out of each other. And it's like, there's this level of the competitive nature in it that I hate, and the level of the competitive nature that I love, because instilled in the metal community is this like continual kick in the ass to take a fucking step forward and try something that you haven't done before. And because of that, I love it. So for me, in joining As Blood Runs Black, I came from a band before this. It was called Fallen Figure, and it was a way more technical death metal style band. And for me, it was a means to just challenge the shit out of myself. And I was presented this opportunity to join As Blood Runs Black, and in the opportunity, I kind of realized that what I was doing is I was going from like a minor league team to a major league team. And in doing so, I was going to be losing some of the freedoms that I get in the minor league team. And I would have to take on different responsibilities. So there was like this whole situation of me kind of weighing that out. And I decided to move forward and join the major leagues. And in doing so, I kind of had to give up a lot of my my natural inclinations musically. And I had to really learn how to fit inside the box or the consciousness of another band's sound, and it was already something I was working on. I mean, I've been a composer for a really long time. Like, I do a lot of other styles, a lot of piano pieces, a lot of acoustic pieces, a lot of rock pieces, flamenco pieces, reggae, you fucking name it. I'm really just trying to like learn as much as I can about every style, because my goal is to be a commercial composer and to be a producer and stuff like that. So I'm really just doing everything I can. So in that being my natural inclination and joining As Blood Runs Black, I realized it was an opportunity to really challenge myself while being on a platform that everyone's staring at. It was like a high pressure situation to fit inside a mold. And with Ground Zero, I was one of the main writers on it, and I was able to really imprint who I am and what I'm about and what I do. In the time, that's who I was. And the sad thing is, fitting inside this box, what you're getting is a watered down version of what I initially planned. Like there was, I probably wrote upwards of 15 plus songs, maybe 20, at least probably 20. And I think 8 or 9 of them made the cut. So it's like, in reality, it's like you're writing songs and you're sending them to a publisher, hoping you're going to get some kind of placement, really. And half of what I did basically made it, and the other half didn't. And because of that, I felt exhausted, and that living in that box and trying to just like create this sound that would work for this style. I felt like I was kind of suppressing what I really wanted to say. I was kind of pushing down the real shit that I needed to get out. So in that kind of moment, I realized that I really wanted to do a solo record. So I decided to finish writing that. We had a release tour after that, and in the time of finishing the record and going on the release tour, I brained up a couple riff ideas, some very basic ideas of where I wanted the song to start. I didn't know where the fuck they were gonna go yet. So I recorded those, and then I went on the tour, and I sat down with them for a while, really just trying to sit in the vibe of what I was trying to do, and I just sat and thought where I wanted to go with it. Got home from the tour really excited to do that, and the day I got home from the tour, I realized some shit was off at my home. And my dad and mom came to me later that night and told me that my mom's brain tumor had come back. And that was like some of the most devastating news anyone could receive, and it's really hit me hard. So it kind of shook me up really badly, and it took me off guard, caught me off guard, and it took me like a couple of days to kind of get on my feet again. So I decided, instead of making this whole instrumental album, I had this whole concept album kind of planned out, I decided that I wanted to do it more as like a therapeutic kind of like journal entry. So what I decided to do was to take a week to where I would just record the album. So what I did is I put all my guitar lessons and all my recording and producing sessions off, and I set a week for myself to just record the album, and I sat down on Monday to record, and nothing came out of me because I was just stuck from the news I just received. So what you're gonna get is the following 6 days of the week, I recorded a song a day, and I spent about 14 hours each day, which is fucking insane, but I did it, and I think the insanity of the situation is kind of imprinted in the record, and I was able to really express what I needed to say, because in all honesty, going through the shit that my family and I are going through, and my mom, like there's no fucking words in any dictionary of any language that can describe this shit, and I feel like the language of music is really the only language that I could rely on to say what I need to say for me to feel okay with, you know, taking another breath while I'm worrying about my mom taking a breath, you know? It's just, it was very difficult for me, so I came to the conclusion that this is the means for that. I'm a musician so that I can say what I can't say, and so that other people can relate. Because everyone's going through some shit that they can't talk about, and music somehow touches on it, and I feel like this is my outlet for that. So I took my 6 days of that week to record the record, and the outcome that you get is the journal entry that is the Center Sun album. That's really what it is. The title Center Sun came to me when I, sometimes you get sucked into a black hole on YouTube, and you discover some shit you never would have thought was real, and most of the shit isn't real, to be completely honest with you, but I came across this theory that I thought was really interesting, and it was the idea that there's a center sun in our universe, that all of the galaxies are revolving around the same way that planet revolves around a star in our solar system. What this is kind of hypothesizing is that everything is revolving in a circular motion. It's not that everything is moving away like it's like mainstream current scientists think. And to be honest, I'm not going to say it's true or false. I just like the idea that there is this macrocosm and microcosm of the universe, because when you really look at it, there's this repeating system of things that connect. Like when you zoom inside of the body, you see, you know, a nucleus with electrons revolving around it. You zoom out, then you see a bunch of cells that make up the body. Then you zoom out, then you see a body on the Earth. Then you zoom out, then you see the Earth revolving around the sun. Sun revolving around in the galaxy, and then the galaxy revolving around another sun, perhaps. I don't even know. But I thought it was a beautiful concept, the way it connected everything being essentially a Fibonacci sequence of itself, being an expanded version of itself. I thought it was a beautiful connection, and I really like the meaning of it, that everything is connected. So that's kind of, in a sense, where that title came. And for me, you know, I sat for a long time with this title. It was either a band name or just a title, Center Sun. And I really was thinking about this, and I think I've decided I was going to originally call this project Center Sun, and I was going to call the album Journal, but I've decided to just go with Dan Sugarman as the name of the artist. That sounds fucking stupid. That's the reason I don't like doing that, because I don't want it to be like, solo album Dan Sugarman. I just like, the reason I'm going with my name is because I want everything that I do from here on out to be connected, because I'm not going to do metal releases after this, really. I want everything to be connected, so you can just go to like dansugarman.com and get all my music, and it's not going to be like, I don't want to have a different band name for every different style I do. I just want to have different album titles, really. So, that being said, I think I'm going to go with Dan Sugarman, and then the title of this album will be Center Sun, and this will be a badass, extreme, progressive metal album. The next one, not so much, but for now, this is where I'm at in my life, and this is where I was able to find the therapy I needed. This is like the strain of thought that I was in when I came home from tour and got this news. It was like this uncontrolled chaos with like weird revelations about life that I was having and death. So there's like lots of beauty and pureness contrasted with just like death and fucking darkness. And I don't know, I was really playing with colors and dynamics, and I found it really emotionally compelling to sit and listen to it afterwards, because as I was recording this record, I was really trying to imprint what I was going through at the time. Like, as I'm recording all of my solos, keep in mind, like, me doing each song a day meant that all of my solos were improvised. So I really wanted to just like get there in the song, feel the shit, and put it down. I didn't really want to brain it out too much. I didn't want to like put too much pieces together. I just wanted to feel it. So a lot of what you're getting is completely spontaneous. And because of that, I think it's a little more pure. And because of my realization of that, I decided to not go back and correct things. Anything that, if there's like what I call a happy accident in there, I like to keep them because it's real, it's human. A lot of times in metal, someone's gonna hear a little like string noise and go, dude, that's a fucking mistake. Edit the first piece of that over that so it's the same thing so you don't get that. To me, it's like, that makes it real, and I want this shit to be real. I didn't want it to be too robot, because it's really music from the heart, and it needs to feel like that. Yeah, my buddy Angel Vivaldi was really cool to be willing to link up with me and work on this project. I actually met him for the first time at the NAMM convention this past February, and we hit it off immediately. We wound up speaking for like 3 hours afterwards about, you know, life and bullshit for the first 2 hours, and then I just mentioned this idea because I was just like, dude, I'm really feeling your vibe, and I would really love to have your energy kind of like a part of what I'm doing. And he, just the way that I mentioned that, he was like, dude, yes. Because to him, it's very egotistical, the world of musicians and the world of like NAMM itself. It's like a lot of look at me, and like a lot of people go there with the idea of trying to express their best image of themselves, and it was just really cool to be there and meet one of the realest people I've met in a long time. So Angel's an awesome human and an even cooler musician. Like, that dude's phrasing and his musicality is just like top notch. So to have him be a part of the record is a beautiful fucking thing. Really stoked that he's so supportive and was willing to do the video. I thought that was really cool. In terms of other artists that I have on this record, I'm really excited to announce that Francesco Artisato from All Shall Perish, The Devil You Know, and Francesco Artisato Project. Incredible solo artist, and incredible musician. He's on the song Spectre, which will be on my album. I also have this guy, I'm only saying this guy because a lot of you haven't heard him, and I really hope that you guys all take the time to check him out. His name is James Norbert Ivani. Incredible fucking guitar player and musician out of Australia. I met this dude online actually through Francesco because they're buddies. And he just put out a solo record called The Matter Circumvention. Really cool. It's very like 70s psychedelic rock tinged metal. So it's a really cool vibe, kind of Opeth-y, kind of Pink Floyd on crack sort of situation. It's really cool. But he's on the record, and he was down here at NAMM a couple months ago, or actually a month ago, and we were able to link up, and he came to Sugartone Studios right here at my house and was able to record the solo with me. So it was really cool to be able to vibe with him in person and put down what you're gonna all hear on the record. So he's on the record as well. That's one of my favorite solos I think I've ever heard. It's one of the most beautifully put together things. It's so well phrased, and its touch is just unbelievable. Dude's vibrato is unreal. And then on top of that, I'm waiting to get a solo from Matt Wickland from God Forbid and Himza. And I'm expecting a fucking awesome solo. He's been showing me some snippets and it's sounding killer. And then my buddy Justin McKinney from The Faceless and The Zenith Passage, who's going to be coming in the next 2 weeks or so to record his piece. He's just finishing up a couple shows with The Faceless in Indonesia. And then the record should be pretty much done. So at this point where I'm standing with the album is I've done my portion. I've done all my solos, all the rhythms, all the bass that I've tracked. Everything's done and recorded on my end. I'm kind of waiting on these last two solos, and there's one solo that I'm possibly waiting on from one of my favorite guitarists, and I didn't want to mention it yet because it may or may not happen, but if it does, I'm gonna be fucking stoked because this dude is top notch. So if that happens, I'll be amped. So after that, after I receive all the solos, I'm gonna be really sitting down and doing my final touches on the mix, and then I'm gonna send it out for a master, and then put it on your guys' hands. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this out in the world, and so I can fucking make it happen. But I'm shooting for a 420 release, so let's put fire into my ass and make it happen. As I mentioned before, I'm doing a lot of recording with bands and producing and engineering and stuff at my spot right here at Sugartone Studios. If any of you guys are interested in working with me in any capacity, you can contact me at sugartonestudios@gmail.com. If anyone's interested in guitar lessons, you can contact me at dansugarmanlessons@gmail.com. I may or may not have mentioned this before, but I'm going to be releasing a teaching and just musically focused website called, it's just going to be dansugarman.com. It's not called anything, but that's where I'm going to be releasing a lot of this music, as well as a lot of other really cool content for expanding yourself as a musician, and hopefully as a person in general. I want to have a lot of just blogs about just mind and just opening up discussions that wouldn't normally happen with musicians. I don't know. I want to make it very interactive with all of you guys. So hopefully, if anyone's interested, you can reach out and we could brainstorm together on ideas we could do. Other than that, I'm also planning on releasing the CD as well as others through Bandcamp, which would be bandcamp.com/dansugarman. A lot of artists are doing things where they're only going to release like a CD on Bandcamp, but I'm kind of sitting on the idea of just releasing stuff that I work on. I feel like a lot of artists hold on to what they do until it's fucking perfect. They get all the artwork together, all the details and the polish and all that shit, and then they release it. A part of me just kind of wants to do my thing, not sit on it too long and let it go, and let it kind of do its thing out there with you guys. So a part of me feels like I may sort of start just to release things that I have, things that I'm working on, ideas I had in the past that I just didn't do anything with. I might start putting these on Bandcamp for donation, obviously, so you could just download them or give me 2 cents, give me $5. I don't really give a shit. I just want to be able to have a platform to express myself and share this with you guys. So that's really what all this is about. This whole discussion, this whole me talking with all of you guys at Djents and anyone who's watching is really just about my appreciation and the opportunity to be able to express what can't be expressed anywhere else on a platform where you guys can hear it. So thank you very much. Looking forward to doing this with you guys.